I've had
Mm-hmm.
similar experiences in Japan. And one thing that almost always happens if I ask for directions is the person will walk me to where I'm trying to get. And sometimes it's a long distance. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
around the corner and here you are. It's like up all these stairs, crossing a street and round a corner and walking 20 meters, then another corner. It's like, oh, wow. And then you thank them and they're like, oh, no, and they just kind of, they're quite
Yeah.
happy, and then they leave, and then like you're left amazed thinking, wow, that person spent 5 minutes of their time to take me here, and they're not seeking anything in return. And it is
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite aspects is to actually, if I do take a friend to Japan, to see how they react to these acts of omoiyari, or just general kindness, or
Mm-hmm.
acts of non-confrontation or non-conflict. One night, and this was with a friend, I was with my brother-in-law, and we're driving, and we got to a small intersection, and another car was coming,
Mm-hmm.
and both cars slowed down and stopped. And I think my brother kind of nodded and put his hand out to say, go ahead. And this guy slowly bowed and slowly pulled away. And, it took quite a bit of time. And if that happened here, one of the drivers would be angry, like, come on, hurry up. There'd be this tension because you're taking so long. And my
Mm-hmm.
friend couldn't believe it. Like, wow, that everyone's so peaceful here. There's no
Mm-hmm.
sense of anger or frustration. And I
Mm.
think that says a lot about Japanese people, that these interactions with strangers, there's this approach of, I'm just going to be polite, kind, helpful, and
Mm-hmm.
there's no sort of anger or reaction,
No
which,
expectation.
yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
it's always a joy for me to go back to Japan. I feel like I'm going back to a second home. And I have another story. This is in the 90s, and my mother came to
Mm-hmm.
see me, and I just bought a brand new camera, and it was, a really good camera. I was working. I think she was going to Kyoto or somewhere for the day. And I said, oh, take my camera and take some photos.
Mm-hmm.
And she left it on the Shinkansen. And then she's thinking, oh no, I've left Nick's camera on the train. And she didn't tell me, like, because I met her at the train station. She didn't want to tell me for some reason. And then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, we had dinner or something. And then the next day she went back to the train station. I mean, I think it was Shinjuku or a major train station, and said, oh, look, I've lost the camera. And yeah, it was found and put in lost property. And, maybe it was a cleaner, or maybe it was another passenger.
Mm-hmm.
And that's maybe quite common in Japan. But in
It is.
Australia, if that happened in Australia, your camera would be gone. There's no way you'd get it back. It would be,
Mm.
be a bonus for someone else.
Wow. I
So,
mean, yeah, every time I think I dropped my wallet as well and nothing was taken. Like my credit card, all my credit cards were there. My money was there. Nobody took it. And it just came back as it was.
yeah. I mean, I think that happens outside of Japan, but maybe not to the same degree.